Howdy! So I'm going to take you down a tangent of a rabbit hole that I found myself in the other day. 3 days ago, I was putting together the set list by playing the songs. I've written out the set list that I think is going to sound correct, and I've started working on the songs, each subsequent song until I get it to where I feel I'm comfortable with it. And I had finished Whispers, got that done. I had finished a song called Nothing, and I got that done, and it sounded exactly how I wanted to do it. Flowed perfectly, and it keeps the energy the way I want it. And then the third song was going to be a song called 678. And I had a version of that I called the variant version. Clearly I was watching Loki at the time, and Felicia helped me come up with that name of it, the variant idea. Anyhow, and so I recorded that song. It's out now, and I love it. I think it sounds great, and I thought it would flow really well in the set. But I started playing it, and it has the singing starts a bit low, and then towards the middle and the end it raises up a bit. And it just didn't seem correct. Like, it didn't flow the way I thought it would in my head when I was putting the set together, the set list together. So I'm like, okay, there's an original version that I released, and I will play that version, see how that sounds. I capo my guitar on the 6th fret, and the singing's a bit higher. It flows pretty solidly all the way through, and it fit perfectly as that third song. But the funny part about that, I guess, is that, so I was starting to get a bit worried, because I was like, okay, so the first two songs sound great, but this 6, 7, 8 doesn't fit here. So I started dropping it down the set, and it wasn't feeling right. So I was like, it was like making me uncomfortable almost. And I was like, oh man, this sucks. This is terrible. But then when I started playing that other version of it, the original version of it, it just sat so correctly that I was honestly driving around like a maniac singing in my car, really excited. I'm tired as heck now. It's been the last 2 days I've been doing that. But so I was working on that song with the 6th fret, sounded great, but I was like, okay, so why in the world would I record a variant version of this song if the original version sounds this good to me being played live? Why? So I went on YouTube to find the song, which I did. It's distributed by DistroKid, which, number one, I love DistroKid. I'll explain that in a bit. But the funny part about it was I didn't realize that I had released it back when I was still calling myself Here's Johnny, which that name never sat right with me. I thought it was, in hindsight, I think it was very dumb and very almost embarrassing, just stupid. But just for me. But the funny part about that is the DistroKid accidentally sent it to, or you wanted to, either YouTube or DistroKid put it on an incorrect Here's Johnny YouTube page. So the song is still up right now. It will be down eventually, but it's still up right now, and it's on a Here's Johnny page that is not me. So oh well. But so anyway, I started listening to it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I mixed and did all that stuff, mixed and mastered and all that stuff. Like, it was way before I had all the proper knowledge, and I realized, I looked at I went back and got my hard drive and brought up the files, and I mixed and mastered that about a year and a half ago, which was when I released it. Which, first off, is insane amount of time passage that I did not realize, because time flies and I just don't really pay attention. But also, like, the amount of knowledge I've gained since then, the amount of the skill, honestly. A few of the plugins that I use as well, I didn't have back then, because I went through the project file and I'm like, what did I do here? Why does it sound? It's got like a harshness to it. So the tracks themselves are fantastically recorded. Like, I'm really proud of that. But then I was like, okay, so what did I use here and here? The mixing stuff, and it's like the amount of just misstep is crazy to me. But it's kind of cool in a way, because I realized that the tracks themselves are great. I love these things. It's just the way that I didn't have the proper knowledge to give a roundness to it, to have everything not be so like edged. Like it feels harsh. Like the guitar was too harsh, the vocals were too harsh. The background stuff was fine, I guess. It was, I've gotten better at that. So what I'm going to do at the end of this video is I am remixing that song, which is sort of an irony, I guess, that I said the other day that I was going to, I have songs on my computer that I don't need, which is true. But this is like, I feel like it's such a missed opportunity because I was listening back to the tracks themselves and the song, and I'm like, this thing is exactly what I want it to be. But now I need to go back and make sure I mix it correctly. So I started doing that because the tracks themselves are great. Like the vocals, I love the vocals, and I love the guitar. So I didn't re-record anything. There's piano, there's violin, and there's no drums. I didn't put drums on this version of it. I don't think I put drums on the other version, the variant version either. But I didn't put drums in it at all. I did add a stand-up or a upright bass line to it. I felt like it helped with some good low-end stuff. So I did add that to that. And I don't believe it wasn't on the original version of this one. I'm pointing over here because my computer's right there and I'm thinking about it. It wasn't on the original version of the release of this song, of this 678 song. It may be on the variant version. I don't really remember this point. But the difference that happened almost immediately is making me insane. It's so cool. It's like just gaining the knowledge, gaining the skills, understanding bussing better clearly. I didn't bus anything. I didn't make any reverb or delay bus to give it more spacing. Like the sounds more spacing or whatever you want to call it. And like the EQ was so harsh in that thing because I clearly didn't know enough yet, which is crazy. It's so fun now. Like I've been so excited. I've been driving around singing this thing for 2 straight days, just going nuts in my car, kind of laughing like an idiot. But I've been so hyperactive about it that now I'm super exhausted just even making this video because I got all these like little. I kind of wrote down some like I jotted down some notes on my phone just to remind myself. And yeah, it's just crazy. So I got distracted a little bit, but so what I'll do, I'll put the 2 versions of the same song. So I'm remixing the song, remastering the song. I'm gonna re-release the song, and then I'll put it at the end of this video. And what I'll do is I'll put them like side by side, and then I'll put the I'll change the volumes and let you know which one's going at which time. It's just to me. And I'm assuming to you too, because I think it's just super apparent, the amount of harshness in one versus roundness of the other one, like amateur moron boy versus, not that I'm professional, but I've gotten a lot better at the mixing and mastering thing. It's just the sound, it's like the quality's not different necessarily, because the quality of the recording, the flat recordings are great. I loved them. That's why it blew my mind when I heard them. Like, that's why I re-recorded a variant version of it, which I do like the variant version quite a bit. And it's funny because I liked the original one for a long time. And then something was clearly off about it. I mean, now I know. So I recorded a variant version of it, which I then really liked a ton. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what it was. That was the problem. That's why I like this one. And I'll keep both because I like both versions of it, but I think I'll keep the variant one, above the other one in my head about like desire to show people basically. But then now that I'm doing this other one, just remixing the exact same tracks to a better standard, it's clearly gone back to wow. This one's crazy. I should have done this in the first place. But it's just a matter of knowledge and equipment and. I guess now tenacity, but yeah, it's just so ironic, and I'm really excited about it. Clearly, I'm making a video about it. So far, a 9-minute video about it. But yeah, so I'll put those out. And the thing about DistroKid, so I told you I'd get to that. The great part about DistroKid to me is number one is I can just release singles all day, and it doesn't cost me anything else. So DistroKid's like a subscription service, so you pay a single amount and you can release as many songs as you want. And it's just every year it redoes the, whatever amount, I can't remember what it is that you pay to have a subscription to it, to then record or release songs. But that's the benefit to me because I don't put out albums, I put out singles. And clearly it's like over a vast time period. So to have the ability to just do it whenever I want without having to continuously pay in increments is a pretty neat deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be right back. All right. Well, that was my dinner being done. I put something in the oven and it is now done. So anyhow, so what I was saying, I believe, was about the DistroKid thing, where I'm gonna just pull the song back off of all the streaming services, the original version of it, and I'm gonna put on, just re-release the other one, like, to all the streaming services. Granted, I will now have it as a different name. It'll be Use Life Fox, which I like a ton more than Here's Johnny, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, the comparison's gonna be super interesting. I think, I mean, obviously I suggest wearing headphones, but I don't think you're even gonna need them to tell a difference. And again, the guitar and the vocals, nothing different. Didn't change a thing. I didn't re-record anything. I did do the background stuff over again, and I added I'm not sure if I mentioned this already in this video, but I added the upright bass. I think I already mentioned that. Anyway, my mind is so blown by the idea that this tangent rabbit hole of a series of events can lead to something crazy, because I'm super excited about this song now. I mean, I've always liked the song. Like, I liked that I wrote it, all that stuff, and it's always been something that I want to be able to play. And when I couldn't play it, like when I felt like it didn't fit right, I was actually really upset. I kept moving it down the set list to the point where it was at the very bottom. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to play this song. When it was the variant version, it just didn't feel right. But now that I got the other version, it's like, this is number 3 for sure. This is perfect. So it actually got me really amped, really excited. And actually, interestingly, the nerves about playing live shows is waning immensely, because I realized, I think the nerves were the idea that my vocal range is like there, right? So to be able to sing everything to a standard that I hold myself to is the only thing that makes me nervous. I can play guitar all day. I love people, so I can be in front of people. I mean, that's a little nerve-wracking in general, just for anybody, I assume, but I like doing it. But then the singing part was what always gets me. So now that I've got those 3 songs where I know exactly what I want to do with them, it's like, okay, cool, I'm all set. That's a pun. For the shows, but it's like, now I'm going to go to the next song, but I'm going to keep playing this 678 original version, and then just move on from there. It's just super exciting. Sounds dumb, perhaps, to anybody else, but I'm excited. So, anyhow, I rambled on for 15 minutes, whatever it was, but check out the song. It'll be the 2 songs, really. They'll be at the end of this video in the next 10 seconds, and just the whole idea is just you can do anything. You just have to figure it out. Like, it's just so crazy. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But having the ability to learn and to correct yourself and to be able to get things correct, whether or not it takes you more or less time. I'm really excited to play now. I feel like this is the best I've ever been. I mean, in terms of musical stuff, musical things, so I'm like ready to go. I'm getting super impatient, and I want to get on the road and just play shows all day. And I'm about 8 years after I thought I'd be ready. I think I am actually ready. And I mean that legitimately. I mean legitimately 8 years after I thought I'd be where I wanted to be entirely musically. And I think I've just found it. So, perfect timing, because, time doesn't matter, only life matters. But yeah, just always put the effort in. Because once you get it, it'll just make you excited about everything. So, that is about it. I hope you enjoyed the song. I love it. Gosh, there's so much to it, too. There's so much in it. It's so fun. It's got a heck of a guitar riff that meanders throughout the whole song. The violin stuff I added to it, which is... I added different violin, different piano to it than I had in the original version. The original. So I've gotten better at that, so that sounds cooler. It's rounded off. It just sounds so much better. So enjoy. Have a great day. Have a great day. I don't know why I got an accent. But yeah, I can't wait to get out and play shows. I'm gonna hopefully see anybody that ever watches this, and I appreciate that you do. If you've ever seen one of my little videos here, I appreciate it. It's a process, and I really enjoy it. And like I said before, in terms of irony in not needing a song that I've recorded already, the 2 songs, I'm gonna just go through and do the same things I've been doing with the setting up the set for myself. So I've got the 2 down, 3 now. So I'll go to the next one, and if that one has a crappy recording or terrible mixing from a time ago that I was not quite prepared, didn't have quite the same amount of plug-in prowess that I do now, then I'll probably go back and do the same thing where I just take the song off the I use Logic Pro, so the Logic file off my hard drive and just remix it, because that takes like no time. I've got the presets now that I've made for myself, which takes time off like you wouldn't believe, and gets it correct. And it's like the excitement of having something right, of having something I'm actually extremely proud of. Like the last thing that I was extremely proud of musically was when me and Aaron and Josh released the Still the Sky's Limit EP. I mean, that's forever ago. It's like 2011 or 2012, something like that. And that was something I was extremely proud of musically. And now it's like finally there. 8 years later. 8 years after I thought I'd get it. Finally got it. That's the story of my life, I guess. But I'll take it, because, I mean, why not? Anyhow, have a great evening. See you next time.